No more I forgot. The journey of remembering. Miles was a bright boy, but he had one big problem. He always forgot things. "Miles, where's your water bottle?" his mom would ask. "I forgot," Miles would say. "Did you bring your homework?" His teacher would frown. "Oh, I forgot." No matter how often he left things behind, his school hat, jacket, or lunchbox, he never seemed to mind. Someone always helped him fix the problem, so forgetting never felt like a big deal. One night, Miles lay in bed, drifting off to sleep, and suddenly he wasn't in his room anymore. Miles found himself standing in a strange forest, holding a small satchel. A tall wizard with a long silver beard appeared before him. "Miles," the wizard said, "you must travel through the Enchanted Woods to retrieve the Crystal of Responsibility. This satchel will carry everything you need, but only what you remembered to pack." Miles nodded. "That's easy." He stuffed in a few things and set off on his journey. But soon, he learned that forgetting had real consequences. Miles walked until he reached a wooden bridge. A big, grumpy troll blocked his way. "Pay me a snack, or you can't cross," the troll growled, patting his belly. Miles reached into his satchel, but it was empty. He had forgotten to bring morning tea and his lunchbox. "No snack? No crossing," the troll said. "Go the long way." Miles sighed. He had to walk all the way around the mountain, making his journey much harder. And since he had no food, his stomach growled as he trudged along, feeling even more tired and hungry. Consequence. Forgetting something small can lead to a much bigger inconvenience later. At a giant oak tree, a talking owl stopped Miles. "To pass, solve this riddle," the owl hooted. "The answer is in your homework book." Miles smiled and checked his satchel, but his book wasn't there. "I forgot to bring it," he mumbled. "Then you must sit here and figure it out yourself," the owl said. Without his book, he couldn't look up the answer. He had no choice but to sit under the tree, trying to remember what he had learned. It took hours, and by the time he solved the riddle, the sun was already setting. Consequence. Forgetting homework means extra work later. The sun blazed as Miles entered a hot desert. His throat was dry, so he reached for his water bottle, but it was missing. "Oh no, I forgot to pack it," he groaned. With no water, Miles grew dizzy and exhausted. Each step became harder, and by the time he reached the next path, he had to rest under a tree for a long time. Consequence. Forgetting something important can make things much harder than they need to be. As night fell, the air turned cold. Miles shivered and grabbed his satchel. "Good thing I brought my jacket," he thought. But when he looked inside, no jacket, not even a hat. He had forgotten it also. With no choice, Miles wrapped his arms around himself and kept walking, freezing all the way. Miles took a deep breath and stepped forward, but the icy wind stung his skin. His teeth chattered, his fingers froze. Consequence. Forgetting things like a jacket or hat can ruin an experience and make things harder than they need to be. By the time Miles walked out of the woods, he was exhausted, hungry, thirsty, and frustrated. The wizard smiled. "Now you see, Miles, forgetting things has real consequences. No one was here to fix your mistakes for you." Miles nodded slowly. "I get it now. I need to remember my things, or I'll make things harder for myself." "I have several tips that can help you, Miles," the wizard added. Use a reminder system. A sticky note on your desk, a reminder on your watch, or an alarm on commonly used device can help. Create a daily checklist. A written or visual reminder by the door or in your backpack can help. Establish a pack-up routine. Make a habit of checking your belongings before leaving school and home. With that, the wizard waved his staff, and Miles woke up in his own bed. The next morning, before leaving for school, Miles checked his bag twice. For the first time, he didn't forget a thing. The end.